Take me to a place I know. Take me to a place where we don't have to sleep alone. And I won't be afraid to go. Take me to a place where we don't have to sleep alone. I don't care what you're doing, I don't think you're special. I don't care what you're doing, I don't think you're special. It's your power, it's your right to find your body spot tonight. I don't care what you're doing, I don't think you're special. Yeah, alright. Now, what the fuck? Hey guys, it's Friday. I haven't made a video in a little bit, for this channel at least. But that's just because there's just been nothing to make a video about. Last week I actually did have a video idea, but I forgot to do it. And I didn't realize it was Friday either. By the time I saw that it was Friday, it was, you know, just kind of late, and I didn't have time to make a video. And now I don't remember what that video was going to be. So I've decided today to do a C3 review. Here's a C1. I got a pink one. Now this one's just like a normal Rubik's Cube. It just has regular pieces like so. Okay, just a regular corner, regular edge. And this is one of the original C1s. This one has the plastic washers. There are some remakes that have metal washers. There's a C 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, up to 1.5. And they all have slight differences in the center pieces, center caps, and I think that's the only differences in the C versions of C1. And I got this from Cube for You about 2 years ago. It's still really good. It was getting kind of slow. And this used to be the fastest cube I owned, believe it or not, back in, you know, a long time ago. But it started getting a little slow, and I can't loosen the tensions. I don't want to loosen the tensions because I've glued my center caps on. They just kept popping off, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I glued the center caps on. This is actually a clone of the Rubik's DIY. And they just call it Type C. The company name for Type C is Shengli, or Shengla. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's what it's called. So I've lubed it with Lubix, and it's not as fast as it originally was, but fast enough for the speed solve and get good times. This is my store-bought, regular store-bought. I put alpha stickers on it. Yeah, there's less resistance on my store-bought. This cuts corners at 45, no problem. No problem. That was like easy. My store-bought, if you want to compare, cuts corners at about 45 as well. It just takes a little more effort. The only thing I've ever done to this was lube it. That's all I've ever done. I've never sanded anything. Nothing's changed. Okay. Now we go into the C2. This fucking thing, when I first got it, I had already had a Type F1, and when I got this, it scared the hell out of me because I thought it was an F1. It is pretty much the exact same as an F1, although the plastic is a lot harder. F1 has really soft plastic like an A1, but this has a lot harder plastic, harder than the F2 plastic. It is not meant to be loosened, it is meant to be tightened all the way to the core. That's how it comes. And I've experimented with it, and you can't loosen it. Alright, you will get a lot of pops. And one thing I noticed is that the stalk on the C2 is a lot shorter than a regular stalk. There's a little ridge in there. I'm not sure if that does anything. This was the fastest cube I had when I got it. It's a great cube. I love it. It's a cube that I take around with me because this is one I'm definitely not afraid to drop. The center caps on this one, never had a problem with them falling off. They stay on really well, unlike the C1. Now the C3. When I first got this cube not too long ago, I was amazed at how it felt. It has amazing speed, amazing corner cutting capabilities, although, and I'll show you in a minute what the problem is, there is a major problem with this cube. The only problem with this cube is that it pops like a fucking shit fucker. Okay? I can cut corners with it, you know, all the way at 45, but I have to squeeze the cube tightly so the pieces don't pop. Because when I cut corners, this piece wants to pop, this piece back here wants to pop, all the pieces just want to go, and it really sucks. What I do have to worry about popping is when I do RU prime R and I keep going with that R and I try to cut the corner, what happens is I'll do the RU prime R and the cube will just explode because it gets all caught, you know, like this. It just does that. That is the one thing I don't like about this cube, and I've tried tightening it just a quarter turn and I didn't like the way it felt. It was too tight. I like this loose, springy feel. It has a very springy feel, kind of like the D2. You just have to be really light-handed with this. Otherwise, I've had this cube explode literally, like into all the pieces just fall apart. You don't want to do a lot of corner cutting with this cube. It's just very accurate turning, light-handed. Don't go as fast as you can. That's the one thing that sucks about it, is just the popping and the center caps falling off. Now lately, since I've been lighter with it, I've not had much of a problem with the center caps. They do fall off still, and it seems to be when you make a rough turn. The pieces, I guess, rub the center cap and knock it off. Some of them I have paper under, but it doesn't seem to work on this cube for some reason. So I stopped worrying about the paper and just got more careful in my turning. It is a great cube. It is the best of the C's, I think. I can say that the C2 has some advantages over this, but overall this is a better cube. I wish it didn't pop. I wish the center caps stayed on. That's the main problem with this cube. The pieces are like this. Kind of remind me of the bad Diensheng cube with the cutoff. There's two Diensheng's. There's a .222 and a .333. Now the one that Cube for You sells is the .333, and that's the bad one, which sucks. It's not the worst cube I've ever had, but it's not the greatest. It has pieces like that, with that cut-off, jagged crap. And then the C3 also has this, if I can show you. These little lines. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that. I guess that's just a friction reducer. But that's what the pieces kind of remind me of. And the corners, get one out here, have this little cutoff end. And I kind of find this to be bad. Because it seems like that would be one of the reasons that this cube would pop. And I do get a lot of corner pops with this. And I think it's because of that cutoff. Maybe not. Probably not. But that's what it would seem like to me. Sometimes when you're doing a turn, I'm thinking that cutoff corner causes it to just not have anything to grip onto. And it just comes out easier. But who knows why it pops. Who knows why it pops? I really don't know. So that's it. That's the fucking review on the C3. It's great, but make sure you're light with it. and I don't know, whatever. It's, you can't tighten it too much, you can't loosen it too much, so there's really no great tension for it if you want it to be perfect. I'm sure I could tighten this a lot and it wouldn't pop, but then the cube would just suck and it wouldn't be speed solvable. It's not really like that kind of a deal. So next, you can the next cube I'm going to be getting is the A4F. I did order this cube already from eBay. Now, thanks to Yeah Bucket, fucking Yeah Bucket. He's the guy who gave me the link. It's the A4F. Now, Jeffrey from iCube Mart has a video on this cube already. He has a review on it. They apparently, according to him, never sold it and never will. But I've seen a few people that have this cube already, so I'm thinking they did sell it for a little bit. And even Calvin from HK Now Store seems to say that they did used to sell it. And now the fuck all I need is an A1F and an old A3 and an old A4. Those are the only type A's I need, and I'll have them all. I know a few people with the A1F, but they won't sell it. I know Pestfic has one, Camcuber has one. Nobody will sell it. They don't make them anymore, so I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can get that cube or not. It's usually under a different name, though. People call it second model, but I don't know. And just like the A2F, that's what this cube is here. This is a great cube. This cuts corners pretty well. Not quite 45, but just a little less. This is the cube that has the little tabs in it to prevent it from popping. It has a little cap that you put into the edge right here in its stalk. And there's a little tab sticking down. I filed them down a little bit because when I first got the cube, the tabs were just too fucking big, and it made a lot of lockups happen. So the cube doesn't lock up anymore for me. It's a great cube. I like it. The differences from the A2, the old A2, is that it doesn't have tracks on it like the old A2 does. By the way, there is now a POM old A2. You can find that on Light Take. Not sure how good it is or whatever. I wasn't a big fan of the POM Guhong. And there's also a polycarbonate A1. It's supposed to be faster. It's called the A1 Turbo. And I found this on the same guy that I'm buying the A4F from on eBay. He sells it. It's a polycarbonate A1 Turbo. Not sure how that is. I'm kind of interested in checking it out, but I really don't care about the A1 too much. But this has the tabs on it, and some people call this the third model, which can be confusing because it's the sealed A2. There is one person out there, I won't name him, who will definitely disagree. He calls this the A3F. This is not the A3F. The A3F has the devil horns and sealed edges. This is the A2F, but he will not agree with me. Now, the difference between this and the A1F is that the A1F also has another tab sticking out on the other side. That's the only difference, and it's just a completely sealed edge. Probably basically the same as this cube. So that's it. This video is getting kind of long for this channel, so I'm going to cut it off now. I just recently did an average of 12 on my main channel. You can go check that out. It was a 16.66 average. It's a devil's average because of the 666, you know. And fucking, it was a pretty good average for me. That's basically what I've been averaging lately, is about 16. I get a lot of 15s and a lot of 14s lately, and even some 13s. I got a 10 the other day, which fucking made me piss my pants. Not really, but yeah, so go check that shit out and subscribe to my channel and subscribe to every other fucker's channels on this channel, fuckers. Yeah, let's do it. Come on. Yeah. Alright, I'll see you guys next week. Yeah. Fuckers.